Look, there are just so many things that are wrong with this whole Mmesoma, Utme, JAMB, result, forgery thing. So many things are wrong. On both sides. First, on the path of Mmesoma coming out to actually admit that she actually forged the results by herself using her phone. Something is not right there. On the part of JAMB and the way they handle this whole thing, it looks like more like a David and Goliath thing. And I understand from my own experiences too and things I've seen around that JAMB is also prone to such mistakes. So many things do not sit right on both sides. But the one that really gets me is the one of Festus Keyamo coming to also make a comment on this. Festus Keyamo. That doesn't sit right with me at all. Not mentioning the fact that DSS had to wade in to investigate this forgery thing. I thought that would have been in the domain of the Nigerian police to carry out such investigation. What's the business of DSS with this kind of investigation? So when I heard that DSS got involved, I'm like, what? And we have election fraud that have not been investigated by DSS? What's the business of DSS with this? That didn't sit right with me. And then the fact that you had the National Assembly also intervening, no. So many things just did not sit right. But like I said, the one that got to me the most, the one that vexes me, is the fact that Festus Keyamo also had to make a comment. In fact, he said that, oh, Nigerians should forgive the girl, she's traumatized, that she should be counseled, she needs counseling. Oh yeah, I think she needs counseling. I think she needs counseling because for a girl, a young girl of the age of Mmesoma, for her to feel like she needed to forge her result, it shows a girl that has been battered by society. That's what it shows. A girl that does not see hard work as the path to recognition. A girl that sees that you can cut corners based on what she sees around her to get results. A girl that sees that the highest score in JAMB is not served a la carte. You have to grab it, you have to snatch it, you have to forge it, you have to run with it. That's what it shows. Because this girl scored 249 for real. If she did the exam herself, she scored 249. That is no mean feat. You have to be somebody of a certain intellectual sagacity to score 249 by yourself in JAMB. So for that kind of person to score 249 and still feel the need to forge that result, to still feel inadequate, so inadequate that she feels the need to forge that result, tells you that she has learned that from somewhere. She has come to feel or to believe that whatever your score is, you can get the highest score. Because the highest score is not served a la carte. You have to snatch it. You have to grab it. You have to run with it. You have to forge it. And at the end of the day, if anybody is not happy, they can go to court. She learned that from somewhere. And that's why I said that there are so many things that are just not sitting right with this whole Mmesoma thing. In societies where armed robbers are celebrated, children want to be armed robbers. In societies where footballers are celebrated, children want to become footballers. In societies where musicians and actors and celebrities are celebrated, children want to be actors and musicians. And see, that's why they want to be Davido. They want to be, just name it. You see that. So in societies where the people that are celebrated are people who are forging results, or who have baggages of forging results, or who got into high positions of power by forging results, when those people are the ones celebrated, children want to be those people. So that's why, for me, I find it annoying. I find it unacceptable that somebody of the caliber of Festus Keyamo will come and be talking to Nigerians about how Mmesoma should be forgiven for forgery and how she needs counseling. Yes, she needs counseling. Yes, we will forgive her as Nigerians. But it is not in the place of Festus Keyamo to tell Nigerians that. The same Festus Keyamo that has pushed two presidents that have similar conditions the same Festus Keyamo coming out to tell Nigerians? Is this not the same scenario we had with Buhari? Is this not the same scenario we are having with Tinubu? All candidates that Festus Keyamo supported? When you have situations like this, what do you think the children will be thinking in their head? I have had situations where a child is asked to go to school and the child says, I don't want to go to school. And the parent says, oh, if you don't go to school, you cannot amount to anything in life. And the child says, no, I can amount to something. And the parent says, oh, so tell me, which person did you see that amounted to something without going to school? And the child said, Buhari. Because in societies where the people that are celebrated are people who got into positions of power or positions of leadership without meriting it, by using thuggery, by using fraud, by manipulating results, when the children, because they are watching, when they see that these are the people that are celebrated, oh, you don't go to school, you don't even have a secondary school certificate, but so far as you can buy thugs and bribe professors to help you rig your election, and you get into power, and you that did not even have a house before, within 6 months you are buying brand new Land Cruiser Jeeps, you are buying Range Rover, you are able to carry all the girls to hotels and useless their lives and lavish money on them. When they see this, what do you think they want to become? They want to emulate you. And that's the effect that has now been brought to bear on Mmesoma. And then you have the people who made these conditions possible now coming to advise Mmesoma that, oh, Nigerians should forgive her. No, it is you, Festus Keyamo, and your likes that should be begging Nigerians for the situation you have put the country now, for the sufferings that you have put the people into. And don't come and be talking about a young girl that, in my opinion, you and the likes of you are responsible for the motivation that made her go to forge that result, if she forged it. Because it's also possible she didn't forge it and the whole story came out and she's overwhelmed by it and she's just pressured into submission. It can happen. If she really forged it, of course, we know who is responsible. Another thing that also doesn't sit right with me is this. The problem of education in Nigeria will continue so far as we have these kind of leaders that buttress conflict of interest. The leaders, the people in charge of our education in Nigeria, and indeed in Africa, are people who have dual citizenship. They are people who have their children schooling abroad. How can they then sit over an education system that will work? They cannot. They cannot, because they have plan B. If they destroy the economy, they destroy the educational system, make sure that we are dependent on the West, which is what the IMF and the World Bank are looking for, and the World Trade Organizations. When they do that, when Nigeria crumbles, they have other countries to go to. Conflict of interest. So long as you have people like that, people like Festus Keyamo, who can afford to spend $500,000 to buy a house in the US, where we need money for our educational system in Nigeria. People like Tinubu can send their children abroad. People like MC Oluomo can send their children abroad. How do you expect our Nigerian education system to be better? It cannot be better. We need to fix this. And it starts by enacting this law to ban government workers, not just public or political office holders now. No, not political office holders, not elected office holders, not appointed office holders, not them alone. Every government worker, so long as you want to work for government, it should be banned by law that you cannot send your children abroad for education. That way, if you have the Minister of Education, you have the President, you have the Governor, you have the Senators, you have the Ministers, you have the Commissioners, you have the House of Rep members, you have the Justices, the Magistrates, you have all of these people, the military, the army, the police, the Air Force, you have all of these people sending their children to government school and making sure that they send their children to school within Nigeria. We won't have this problem with our Nigerian education system. We won't. So we need to enact a law to ban government officials, public office holders, politicians from sending their children abroad. Until we do that, we will continue to have this kind of situations that we're having with Mmesoma now. And our educational system will not grow. And another thing that we need to talk about that is not mentioned. When we mention educational system in Nigeria, many people are quick to focus on the universities. University is the least of the problems of education in Nigeria. The core of the problem starts from the primary and secondary schools. You need to go to our primary schools and go to our secondary schools and see what happens there in government sectors. Can any of these politicians send their children to the public schools? They cannot. Meanwhile, every year, billions of nairas are budgeted to be spent on these schools. But do the money get to the schools? They don't. The money fizzles out. It fizzles out and fizzles out before it gets to the school. Everybody just takes their share, and the money disappears. So at the end of the day, you don't have money to make chairs in the school. You don't have money to employ adequate number of teachers and even train them. You don't have monies to put adequate learning aid and learning facilities. You don't have money for all those because the monies that were budgeted for those, they don't differ. And this is only possible because of the conflict of interest. So if we're going to solve education in Nigeria and make education to be useful for us, we need to look at education at the primary and secondary levels, and that can only come by exposing the corruption at that level and also making sure that we solve this conflict of interest thing. The conflict of interest thing must be solved. The government workers, every government workers must be made to compulsorily send their children to government school. That way, we will solve the problem of education in Nigeria. And then another thing that needs to be done is the fact that we need to revive our Ajaokuta steel and Alaja steel because we need Nigeria to industrialize. So long as Nigeria is not industrialized, every education we get in the university will continue to be useless. We will continue to churn out graduates that cannot be employed, that are not employable, because there is no industry to carry out practical knowledge acquisition. None. And as long as we're not industrialized, we cannot have such industries. So these are the things that we need to do to fix our educational system and to stop things like the Mmesoma saga from repeating itself or recurring again in Nigeria. And please, Festus Keyamo should spare us all these rhetorics. We can see through it. It is him that needs the forgiveness of Nigerians, and he needs to come out and apologize. And then we can now think and meditate on whether or not we will forgive him. And to start with the likes of Tinubu and the likes of Buhari also coming out to apologize for Nigerians, to Nigerians. Because look, with all the baggages that is going on around them, the least they could do is come out and apologize. In sane countries, they should resign even because of the baggage alone. Even if it's true, it's not true, they would have even resigned first before coming to prove their case. Because at the end of the day, what is the compulsion in becoming a leader? Is it compulsory that you must be a leader? It's the people that will choose you. So please, let's look at these things. Nigerians, so we need to solve our problems ourselves. We cannot keep depending on these politicians. They can never solve our problems. It is us that will solve it, and it starts with this education tourism prohibition law. Click the link, support us if you can. And I also want to use this opportunity to thank those of you that are supporting us, that are making transfers to the account in the description. We appreciate you. I do not want to mention your name now, but in due course, we will mention the names of people that have supported us. Your support, your financial support, your emotional support, your comments, your advice, your calls, your texts, they are much appreciated. We are in this together. And the more of this that you do, the closer we get at taking back our country and birthing the new Nigeria that we all desire. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support.